Hey everybody, failed entrepreneur back again. I make terrible videos every day, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single horrible one. And today I want to talk about the incredibly shrinking Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden's a real winner of views. He always pulls in, none of my videos pull in a lot of views, but Biden is struggling right now, to put it lightly. You won't see it a lot. It's really not front page news material. Luckily, I guess he's running during a pandemic, so a lot of this stuff is kind of getting pushed to the back page or bottom of the fold. But Joe Biden is in trouble, and people I think are starting to take notice, especially on the DNC side, Democrat side. So a couple things, there's been a couple things with Joe Biden, actually, not just one. Should we do like a top 10 list or something like that? Number one, his emerging dementia. Again, I don't know if it's medically been defined as such, but you just see him talk on news reports and speeches, whatever. He just is. You can tell that he's old. Guy's like almost 80 years old. You can't blame him, but he's just cognitively not very sharp. I think Trump will make mincemeat out of him if he ever makes it to the debates, so that will be interesting to see. But he is just, he looks like an old man. He talks like an old man. So, I can't be upset with him about this, but it is an issue that people are starting to realize, like, oh, maybe that's not a good idea. Nominate a guy who's not always coherent. Maybe. Two, Tara Reade allegations. I made a video on this a couple weeks ago, Me Too and Less Blue, right? Where this allegation, sexual harassment allegation from 30 years ago is starting to make people uncomfortable. I guess what makes this a little different maybe from allegations in the past, and that's what the video was trying to talk about even back then, was with like Brett Kavanaugh, a lot of that stuff was hearsay or couldn't really be collaborated, or in many cases it turned out it was not collaborated at all, and it just seemed under the microscope that there was not a lot of weight to those claims of his party. You know, he drank a lot, but he can't really see any evidence he did anything wrong. With the Biden thing, though, there's people who remember Tara Reade getting demoted, getting shuffled around for no reason in like Biden's staff. She told people who remember these allegations, there was semi-famously now, you maybe not have heard of it because of Corona, I guess her mother called into a Larry King Live episode around this time saying that she didn't want to name names, but she has a daughter who has been harassed by Biden, and out of like politeness, she didn't want to mention anything, but collaborates that at this time, other people besides her were saying that Joe Biden had done something to her, and then surprise, that episode has been deleted from the internet. I think they took it off the Google Play Store. It's a coincidence. I mean, they do these randomly anyways, and it was just time that episode. I mean, who's watching 30-year-old Larry King episodes anyways? Who even wants this? I mean, they'll make a buck off of anything, right? It's just, it's rotation, and they just took it down. It's like Netflix, it's not here anymore. So just a coincidence that video isn't found, and, it's on the internet, but, can't Google Play. Why would you buy it anyways if you can just YouTube? Whatever, okay? So that's a thing that's not going away, and again, if you are, believe all women, and if you're very much, anti-Trump, and that's a big thing I see, is that if you don't like Trump, number one thing is just grabs people by pussies, and he's just, it's his oafish demeanor, I guess you could say, that people don't like about him. And how can you raise a ruckus and then at the same time look the other way when something semi-credible comes out about Joe Biden, right? That is maybe a tough double take to do. Some people may not be able to do it, and who knows, there may be more to come from this. But this is not a Tara Reade sexual harassment video. I made that a while ago. Go watch that one, okay? So that's what, number 2. 3, okay, just top 10 list got short. But New York, a couple days ago, canceled its primary. They said because of Corona and it would be unsafe and stuff like that. And it's New York, so if anyone's got a reason to do so, it would be New York. But what this does basically is, from my understanding, it takes the delegates from New York off the table. So it's not like they, we're going to award them. Could they even award them without a primary, without people voting? I'm not sure. I think, some states have done that, but they just cancel it. So there's no delegates coming from New York, I guess, at least for now. And that's interesting because Joe Biden, even though he's the presumptive nominee, is not official. He does not have enough delegates yet. To get the nomination, you need, I'm looking on my screen here, 1991 delegates. And Biden only has a little over 14,000. He's got, 1,428. So he's the presumptive nominee, but he's not the official. And if you see, I don't know if this will be a trend. I mean, but with Corona, anything's possible. With the Democrats, anything's possible. But I would not be shocked. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. But if a lot of people in charge of state if there's this little underswell of anti-Bidenism there, you may see, it's possible you could see these remaining states cancel their primaries claiming Corona, which is valid and makes sense. But doing so would actually tank Biden's nomination. If enough of them do that, he won't get the required number. He won't get 1991. And what happens then? The DNC convention is in August. It's a couple months away, and you may have your brokered convention that some people wanted in the first place, right? So that's interesting. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. It's a super, super long shot, but it's not impossible. There's a non-zero chance, I guess, of this happening, is what I'm trying to say. It's just really, I guess, kind of depends on how worried people are about Joe Biden, and can they try and pull off a last-minute switch and make it stick and make it palatable to the party, and find someone who could beat Trump. Because right now, even with how bad Corona has been for his administration and how bad the economy is, I don't know, the way he is now, and is, I think he's podcasting. He's not even going out and doing rallies and speeches very much anymore. He's podcasting. That's 21st century for you, right? 21st century politics for you right there. But I wonder what the numbers are on that. What does he talk about? It's just him shouting malarkey. Is it any better content than this? Really? Come on. So it'd be interesting to see if some kind of power play is involved, and that he does not get the delegates, does not become the nominee. I don't think you would see many people fighting for him if that happens. At that point, there's blood in the water, and the Sharks are going to be coming out to try and take that top spot, which was never really his. Or you could have it be that he gets sick. He's got health issues. Again, mentally up there, but maybe he comes down with Corona. I don't want anyone to get ill or sick. But again, being an old guy, and we saw Bernie Sanders had a heart attack, didn't really seem to slow him down too much. Biden is getting old as well. He's under a lot of stress. It's not impossible. Again, a non-zero chance right there. Who would that person be? Well, Bernie Sanders is second place with delegates. He's got 950 or something. Not nearly enough to win. Again, you need 1991. But those vocal Bernie bros and gals are going to want to push Sanders up to take his place. And again, I know the fix is in with the DNC to make sure that doesn't happen. But that could create a lot of chaos. I've heard speculation that Biden could pick a strong VP who would then take over for him. He just has to nominate one. And I think that's what he's doing right now. He's taking his time. It's going to be very important to him who he picks. There's really not a lot of good candidates out there. There never is. Your vice president is never really a strong you're like, oh, no one votes for vice president. So it's just, there's a lot of politics involved. Someone from a state we need to win, or is there someone from a demographic we want to try and go for? But again, no one votes for VP, so whatever. But there's a lot of push to get Michelle Obama is VP. That's another video right there. She has declined it. I don't see that happening. I know people that really want to go back to the Obama era would love that. But, well, I was going to say, this being first lady really make you qualified to be, a high-level politician? Hillary Clinton answers that question for me. I guess so. Hillary Clinton endorsed Biden a couple days back, but there's talk that maybe she could try and put a power play in, and she could maybe try and she's always in the news. She's never far behind. If you ever look at Vegas odds on who's going to, I haven't seen them in a while, but back when the primaries were going on, they had the debates and stuff like that. Clinton was like 3 or 4th in the Vegas betting odds on who was going to get the nomination, over even people still in the race at the time. So she's never far away. Or New York Mayor Cuomo. I don't know much anymore. I think his 15 minutes of Corona fame is kind of gone. But he could possibly be maybe a strong dark horse candidate last minute to jump in. It will be interesting to see, but maybe not that interesting because, again, with Corona and everything, there's talks they may have to cancel the convention and do it virtually. That would be not as entertaining to see if it comes down to brokered, or if it comes down to an old school political convention where they had no idea who was going to win, and there's a lot of wheeling and dealing and politicking on the stage, or people try and figure out who's going to be their person for president. So I don't think that's going to happen. It would be great to see, but just old school, like I said, political fighting and stuff like that. And well, no, I mean, break out the popcorn. That just would be interesting to see, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll see. Biden is on shaky ground. If he survives all of this, does it make him a stronger candidate? I think this is going to probably be one of the weaker presidential candidates in some time. I'm not saying he's like a Dukakis. Yeah, I remember that. But who's Dukakis? Failed entrepreneur. Wait, look him up. And I don't think he's going to be that bad, but I think it could be in the political climate we have today with your red-blue divide. I think it might be probably as lopsided as it could be. Again, but Trump is not in good shape either. We will see. There's still a lot of time left, but the way things are going now, I don't know if Biden, I don't know if he has better days ahead of him, is what I will say. And I'll end it at that. So I got to go. I got things to do. I know you do too. Thanks for watching. Again, hit subscribe if you want to see more ramblings from me. And this is Failed Entrepreneur. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.